Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is my mood board for this challenge. So this is with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. We have a super fun hop today. Usually we just get to choose our own Pinterest inspired thing to create with, but this time the girls had decided to do, someone was having a wine night at some point and decided, hey, maybe it would be fun if we all did a wine inspired layout, which I thought is so much fun. So I was trying to go through my photos and try and find a photo of like me and my mom and my sister love doing like wine nights. My sister makes these amazing cheese boards with all these different like meats and grapes and all of this different stuff. I was trying to find a photo of that, but I did not have one. So I decided to go a different route. Instead of doing like a literal wine page, I decided to go to Pinterest still and try and find a mood board. I just typed in rosé mood board. I thought maybe if I could find a mood board inspired by a wine color, I could use it that way. So this is more based off the color of wine versus literal, like it's about a wine. And I found that gorgeous mood board you saw in the beginning of the process video. That mood board, I thought it was so funny. Usually when I type stuff in to Pinterest, if it's a mood board or something, the algorithm knows I'm a scrapbooker because that's really the only thing I search in Pinterest. So it comes up with a lot of like scrapbooky type mood boards or color schemes or stuff like that. But now that Marcus and I are engaged, I've been using Pinterest a ton to find wedding inspiration and visuals to show my different vendors of what I have in mind. So I thought it was so funny that I put in this mood board and like all of them that popped up were wedding mood boards. So I thought that was funny. I really wanted to include that. Which I thought it was perfect because I'm using the Hannah collection. There's a lot of beautiful soft pinks I have left over. I'm using the B side of the floral, which I did not use the first time I had this collection. So I thought that was kind of fun to use this wonky like white polka dot. But I wanted something white and kind of easy on the eyes. I mean, these circles on the background are kind of bold, but I think it's minimal enough to where it can really let all these layers shine. I really wanted to do more of a layery look. I haven't done a design like this where I really am just stacking a bunch of scraps together like any lately at all, and I love this style. So I'm taking a couple of the 6x6. I think I used 3 different 6x6 papers that Kelly included with the collection. These particular 3 go really well with the Hannah collection. I think most of them are from Reagan. But I just thought it looked so pretty and like wedding-ish, and I just thought it was so nice. This photo is me and Marcus in church. We got him his very first rosary, and then there were some rosary rings too that I decided to get a rosary ring for me, and they have matching Saint Benedict medallions on them, medals. So I just thought it looked so cute. So we took a little picture of him holding his rosary, and then you can see my finger in the upper right hand or left hand corner of that photo with my little ring. But I definitely wanted to scrapbook it. It was his first rosary he's ever had, so I thought it was really special. And so I didn't really mind that it went kind of like a wedding vibe. We're in church and it's like such a pure moment that I thought it would be really sweet to kind of pull it in that direction. Especially because some of these pattern papers like that more tan one that's the back layer right now, it has this white lace pattern on it, and I just thought it hit the mood board to a T. I thought it was so perfect. And with all of these different pinks and with the white background, I still thought color-wise it hits that wine note because there is white wine, there's rosé wine, so I think I'm doing good. Pretty much just feel like that kind of portion of the challenge is covered color-wise and mood board-wise. So I'm just trying to have fun now with my scraps. I have my wood grain out that I thought I was going to use, but once I started doing all of these lighter embellishments and layers, I pull in a doily. I have a glassine bag I'm tucking in now. I just liked how light it was. I liked how airy and soft everything was. I really didn't want to add a dark wood grain. Usually I would love to pull that in on a page like this to ground everything. I love the addition of that richness. But on this particular page, I was like, we are gonna keep this one soft. So I just love this one. This was so cool, trying to pull that wine theme in this direction. So I also really love this branding strip, this ombre branding strip. I thought was perfect because it goes from this light pink all the way down to dark maroon. So I even felt like the branding strip is like all the different colors of wine in a variation. Like it just reminded me of when you do tastings and they set up all the wine in like color variation from like darkest to like lightest. And I just thought that branding strip was so perfect. That was actually more of a literal on the color of the wine. But of course I'm using all these various pink pattern papers, so it went. But there's the doily that I added, and I'm trying to remember what I do now. This is kind of supposed to be my stamp with me, but I'm still, as I'm doing this voiceover, undecided if I'm going to have this in the stamp with me hop, because this is the only stamping I do, and I feel like it's too wimpy to call a stamp with me hop. But I do have some my Harper stamps. I looked through my Hannah stamps, but I found this stamp on the Harper Felicity Jane stamp set that I thought was so pretty. It just says start and end each day with a grateful heart. You saw immediately I pulled out my ink and my heat embossing powder because that's my go-to when I'm stamping, but I caught myself and I was like, stamp normally for once, okay? Just, you don't have to stamp and heat emboss everything. I'm trying to actually do stamping with black on a pattern paper. Actually, it's a solid pink, but I figured if I could stamp this in black on this pink and trim it into a banner to have in some embellishment, that would be a really sweet touch. And I really like how it looks. Marcus's rosary beads are black, so I didn't mind that the stamping wasn't black because everything else is very white and airy. But I just love the font. I thought it was so sweet, and the sentiment, start each day with a grateful heart was just, perfect. So that's my stamping. I guess today you'll find out if I put that in the stamp with me hop or not, but maybe it's better to do that and have some stamping and have it count than nothing. But I like what that looks like just coming out from the side of this doily. I'm really trying to create a little embellishment cluster here. I have this really cute piece of ephemera that has some rose gold foiling on it that I was really trying to make work. I struggle a couple times with that bit. The problem is the sentiment on that card is not something I want showing. It just says like it's okay or something, but I'm like, that's not a sentiment I want on this page. So if I used it, I would want to cover up that sentiment. So you can see me trying to find ways to layer it so that that sentiment is covered, but it just wasn't working. And with having rose gold foil and that being the only foil on the page, I was like, okay, if I'm going to use that, I want to pull in this extra strip of washi from the Willow collection. And when I got out the paper to do the rose gold foiling strip, I saw there's still 2 strips of this pink washi, and I was like, perfect for this layout, getting all the pink things used up. So I am glad I got the 2 pink strips of washi. But you can see that skinny strip. It's kind of a scrap of the rose gold foiled stripe piece that was on the Willow washi, but I thought I could get that on here, and then that way if I do pull in the other ephemera bit, there's some other rose gold foiling for it to tie into, but then I end up not using that bit. I just couldn't make it work in a way that makes sense. So I kind of give up on that. But I do like this little stamp detail. I'm just going to put my stamps away really quick. I do still want to do a title right away. I'm planning it on Nate calling it like Marcus's First Rosary or something like that. Or I even thought about maybe calling it like St. Benedict and maybe journaling about the medal. But then I decided like that's not what this page is about. It's about Marcus's First Rosary. But before I got there, I am going to gut the chunk of the background paper that's going to be covered. I was thinking the front side of this is this gorgeous floral from the Hannah collection. So if I did want to fussy cut some florals, I would have a chunk to do that with. But I don't do that on this page. So I'm just going to cut a scrap to back this hole with, and then I'll get all the layers glued down. And then I can kind of move forward a little bit. But I did like having this washi strip on the top and bottom of the layers because it kind of framed out what I needed to gut. So that was really nice. But I'm gonna get all of this glued down. I'm so happy I got so much of the 6x6 paper that Kelly included used up on this Hannah page. It just all looks like it was meant to go together. But once I get that glued down, I'm trying to remember what I do next. I'm just going to have to wait and see with you guys because I already can't remember. And I just made this page yesterday. Let's see. I think I'm taking away all the scraps that I know I don't need. I might be cleaning up everything, honestly. I really like how the layers are looking right now. I think my layering is pretty much done. I did want to make sure I used this chipboard alphabet. I have not used that at all this month. I promised I would use it, and I'm doing it now. This is the last page I get out of the Hannah collection, so I'm like, it's now or never, because I really wanted to use it with the Hannah collection. So I decided to use this for my title. Like I said, I'm just going to spell out First Rosary. I think it's spaced out really well on this bottom layer where I wanted it to sit, and I just think it looks so nice and soft. It's another tone of white. And it has that skinny white or skinny black stripe on it. So again, it ties in with my stamping. It ties in with the photo, but it's not super heavy. It ties in with the background too. But I just like how it all went together. I just thought it was so meant to be. It just looks so nice. So I'm just going to space that out. I end up just working from the outer sides of the scrap of that piece of paper I'm setting the title on for spacing, but then there's kind of too much of an awkward gap between First and Rosary. So you'll see what I do there in a minute. I do just need to peel all the backings off of the chipboard in order to stick all this down, so it does take me a second to get this all placed. But yeah, I love that. I love it so much. And I also thought it was appropriate that my theme was, my mood board was kind of more weddings themed, because obviously, like, we're getting married in a church. So this church actually where the photo was taken. So I thought it was just super appropriate that it all went together, like the photo and the mood board and the story. Like, I just thought it was so nice. But somehow it came from a wine-inspired mood board. I can't wait to see what everyone else does with this this hop, because I feel like there's going to be so many fun layouts. But I think my title's almost done, and I know one of the things I want to pull in are some more wood veneer. I'm trying again with this ephemera bit. I'm trying. No one can say I didn't try, but it's not going to work. So I put it away. I thought about taking the willow washi back off now that I'm not using rose gold foiling, but because it's kind of in the middle of the layers, I don't mind it for whatever reason. I'm just going to leave it. But here's my little container of wood veneer. I've used this container so much this month, and I can't believe how much is still left. It's so impressive. She sent me so much. I just started pulling things out. I pulled out 2 little butterflies because butterflies have a ton of different meanings, but I feel like one of them is spirituality, so I thought it was appropriate that I had 2 little butterflies on there. And then there was a house with a heart in it missing from it, and then there's the heart that I paired with that one in that cluster, and I thought that was really sweet and symbolic. For whatever reason, that kind of reminded me of church as well. So I think that's really sweet. And then I decided for whatever reason just to try this bird with the bird cage. I'm like, this isn't really... She's like, I'm just going to lay it down and just see how it looks there. And as soon as I put it there, I loved it. That kind of also reads a little wedding to me. I don't know why, but again, with the symbolism, I thought it was so appropriate that this bird is on the outside of the cage. Like, for whatever reason, like, all 3 of these little wood veneer clusters, I love that the wood veneer is all tied in, but all the clusters are different, but they somehow symbolically tie in to the story, and I love that. So I am doing a little bit of journaling. It just says, First Rosary for Marcus and matching ring for me, January 2020. And here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out what everyone else is doing. If you want to play along with the Pinterest board, just use our hashtag OTBWPP. I'll put it down in the thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.